before. So he joined exactly when Alex mentioned where, things were already getting calmer, kind of like one of the last hires from the tsunami. But Lucas, since, the very beginning, he was like really committed to really doing a great job and like just, he I don't know how, but like he really like mastered auditing really fast with the accuracy especially. And when we needed a sensitive accounts auditor, we were like, Lucas is the best one, even though he was with us for such a short period, but he was a clear choice. And we chose him to join the sensitive accounts team. And then, we were talking about like there is a very sensitive account they probably have heard of, or Omri has mentioned it a few times lately, called Wise account. Have you been, you're probably familiarized with the fact that Wise account is really challenging right now. And then we thought, we need to offer Wise an operator. That is controversial, but it's the only way that we could save them. And then how do we do it? We have to find an operator that has really the familiarity with auditing. And Wise is already a sensitive account, so Lucas was already auditing it. And who was the best auditor, to become an operator? Lucas is. So, that's why Lucas is being promoted. Patty, Rodrigo have met with him and are going to coach him. Rodrigo's, managing the operator. So I'm really excited that you guys are going to get this guy because he's a gem. So let's give it up for Lucas, guys. Você consegue? Segura para mim. Jones operator. Congrats. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can go. Now let's go to the next one. The next one. One of a kind. Really, literally like one of a kind. Milena, please join us on stage. Milena, yeah, give it up. Milena is such a star. She joined the extractions team in very little time. She was figuring out everything that could improve and coming to Laura with suggestions. And then we really needed somebody that could take basically Marcela is not here, but Marcela is a great awesome superstar as well, and she takes care of confirmations. And we needed someone to stay taking care of confirmations when Marcela was in PTO. And we were like, Milena seems like she has the similar profile, let's give her a shot. And then she did great. And we were like, we also need somebody to help Laura with her PTO because some things were still falling through the cracks and Laura was out. And because she's so thorough, we knew that she would do a good job, but we were not expecting that level of outcome. It's like unbelievable. Margaret was talking to me, hey, this Milena is good. And I was like, yeah, she is. So, when you do such a great job, people notice. And Milena is being promoted now to operators coordinator in the extractions team. So let's give it up for her. Congrats to me. Awesome. Next up. This is a huge one, too, because it's like I was not expecting this to happen this year. But I'm just going to call him Daniel Penedo. Where are you? Yeah. Here it is. I mean, the only reason, he's here is because we felt like, for somebody to deliver what he delivers coming from Itabuna, that's like almost impossible. And we were like, he really deserves this, considering. I mean, Danielle's promotion is really interesting because you remember when Alex was explaining how, Thiago and Andre, started working with R&D and it opened the door for, R&D not to be centralized in Israel. And for the first time ever, OR is trying to create an independent squad in Brazil. Meaning we're going to have developers, Thiago, Andre, they are called data analysts, but that's just, because that's the name they got in the beginning. But in practice, they are back-end developers, junior developers. They're still learning, but they're doing a great job. But they, for every squad in product, you also need, back-end developers, front-end full-stack developers, but also automation developers. So our idea was, let's bring in Daniel and train him to be an automation developer. And with time, we're going to have this independent squad in Brazil. So Danielle is actually making possible that we have an independent product squad in the Brazil team, which is awesome. So let's give it up for Danielle. Automation developer. That sounds good. Congrats, no. Automation developer. That does sound good. Now this next one is very, very, very exciting because I was like kind of surprised when this opportunity came up. I'm just gonna call him already. Juan, can you come here, please? I mean, I just want to give you a chance to tell me, and I know some of you already know. Those that don't know, can you tell me or imagine what Juan is going to be doing the next couple, 3 months? Anybody? Just, an area in Jones that maybe we can explore. What do you think are opportunities for Juan at Jones? Shout it out. Come on. Don't be shy. Support. What else? Sales? Okay. What else? Product. Okay, what else? What? CSM, customer support success. What else? Accounting. What else? What? Implementation manager. What else? Yeah. No, not yet. Not yet. Maybe someday, not yet. What else? Nobody? Marketing. Exactly. So, we had a marketing team and things were not really going as we wanted to, and we had reorg. You all know that. And then we don't have marketing right now. And then, the idea was, how can we have somebody that can really write creatively, that can create content, be a marketing specialist, a content, basically, specialist in the marketing team that maybe, can grow into that direction. And we knew immediately that Juan had what it takes because he's creative, because he's really independent, and he's also very knowledgeable about insurance too. He got the policy review training, which his brain was like, when I first talked about this possibility with the management team in auditing, how many, like a couple of months ago or something like a couple of months ago, I mentioned like, hey, there's this possibility of like piloting a marketing specialist in the auditing team. What do you guys think? Who should be considered? And we all like were thinking about Juan, and his brain is like, I'm so like I'm split. Like it's a bittersweet news because I wish he could be on my team, and that's who Juan is. He's a great guy, great, competent person, and I'm very, very proud that you're going to be, piloting a marketing specialist position in the Brazil team. So congrats. Awesome. Thanks, Juan. Now the last one that I kept here because I think this is a perfect moment for it. Um, I have been working with this person for over a little bit over a year and 6 months or so, and person is probably one of the most competent, hardworking people that I've ever known. Very open to changing, very open to improvements. I don't think that the place where she is, it's an easy one to manage, but she does. And right now she's taking a challenge that I think it's a very big one, but I'm sure she's so I'm gonna call Aura here because she's gonna be promoted to manager of. Yeah. Manager of onboardings. And what does that mean? She's she's not only taking care of extractions, but also, hold on, Laura. She's gonna be helping. We were able to do a lot for extractions in terms of automating and also like process improvements. And now she's gonna have the same shot to like help with the onboarding team, meaning the data configuration team and the data hygiene team. And I know it's a big, very big challenge because it's like I think it's one of the most difficult teams at Jones. It's like you cannot predict the amount of work, the type of work. It's really very random in terms of like what you can get in terms of like managing capacity and everything like that. So it's a very big challenge, but I'm sure she's equipped for it. So I'm really happy that I. Awesome. Okay, so this was it for promotions. Very excited. We did have another one to announce. Patricia. Patricia is being promoted. I want to say that, although she's not here, we actually have other promotions that will be announced in the All Hands. But the only person that was going to be here, but today she fell really sick, so she couldn't come. Is Patricia. Patricia has been working with us not only as an auditor, but really helping with the content in Notion, and she has been trained for Walter's, spot as an audit instructor for a while. She would be promoted today, but since she's not here, I do want to mention that and wish her a speedy recovery. But that will also be announced in the all hands, so we're good. We can, yeah. All right. That being said, I want to queue up our El Salvador team. Can you, Chigo, can you pass the slide here with the, because I don't have it on my hands. I just want to, no, you can click it. Just click it. Yeah. Yes. So we're going to get a three, parts presentation from the support team. I'm very excited about this one. And before I let them, start and speak, does Carla has her microphone? Can you set up the microphone while I'm still here? Is that this is going to be an interesting presentation, especially for the automation nerds out there, geeks, okay? So stay alert, because I want you guys to think about how we can learn from the things that they are doing, deploying, and what tools we may leverage, and also maybe how we can also help. Like maybe they're doing something that we have already done, and we're like thinking like, we can help with that. So let's think about how we can collaborate, learn from them. I think there is a very cool tool that we're not using that I think they're going to be showing today. Actually, a couple that I think it's not something that we're still using in our team. And also, ways that we can also contribute, and then you guys can all, and I'm looking specifically to Louise and George, of course, but this goes to all of you because I think all of you can contribute. I don't know if you know that. I think you know, but a lot of the ideas that we're doing in auditing is coming from you guys. Like the product innovation, like it's a lot of coming from your feedback. So if you have an idea you haven't shared because you thought, maybe they have another 50 ideas that they still want to develop, please do share, because we might be able to prioritize them. What was the last one that somebody that sent a bunch of feedback on the IT support ticket? Yeah, Rafael, he's not here. But Rafael sent us a very thorough set of ideas that could improve auditing. And we actually sat down with product this Thursday to discuss them. So, if you have ideas, please do share with us. All right, now, Carla, please join us. Let's give it up for Carla, guys. Good luck.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Quiero dizer que estamos muito agradecidos pela calorosa recepção. Okay. I hope I did it right. If I didn't, at least I made you laugh. Well, I know we are a little bit behind schedule, so I'm going to try to do this real quick. First, I want to give you some context. So support handles tickets, emails basically, and we use our platform Front. You might have heard about it. So we basically handle communication via email. But we notice that we're communicating with our clients, meaning tenant, vendors, brokers. But this made kind of difficult also to reach to our property managers in time. So what happened? We needed a solution to communicate with them faster, and we created the chat support. You might have heard about the chat feature. So at first, it was a challenge. We are using Intercom, which is another platform, to basically provide live support to our property managers. When Alex first came in with this idea, it was like, Carla, can you try this? And I was like trying to get to all the tickets or all the chats real fast. But we when you're building a platform, you don't have like all that you have in front right now. For example, support has a whole tagging system, a way to classify the tickets, but we didn't have that on chats. So we needed some information, valuable information, in order to make decisions. So basically, I'm gonna talk about the first item, which is the chat support automation. Like I said, we don't have, or we didn't have, a whole structure of tagging or knowing what kind of requests our property managers were asking for, what kind of gaps they were looking for. And we needed this information to make decisions, to make informed decisions. So we were actually manually logging every chat and every detail of the chat, like the person, the property manager, the account, the category of the requests. So we needed to basically do one by one and manually log in into a Google Sheet, which means that it would require repetitive data entry, like we needed the conversation ID to go back and look what did they wanted, the email, the PM email, the account, what type of inquiry they were asking for, and this was basically time consuming. We needed to copy and paste a lot of information. So actually, we were not able to get to all the tickets or all the chats in time. So we were like thinking, what should we do? I'm nosy. I'm nosy. And I know you guys have a lot of people that is interested in technology. We don't have specifically that kind of interest or that kind of skills on a lot of people on the support side. But like I said, I'm nosy. So I just wanted to find a tool that could help us to automate some, well, to kind of automate the information, the gathering of the information that we had on Intercom. So we found Zapier. Zapier is basically an automation tool. It doesn't require a lot of coding. You can do that on Zapier, but it's not needed. So what happened is that Zapier has this integration between Intercom, Front, Google Sheets, and you have a lot of possibilities within Zapier. So we basically streamlined the data capture. We no longer need to go copy and paste every piece of information we need. So basically, Zapier does it for us. Now, we have these key pieces of information just come into a Google Sheet where we can now make informed decisions and we don't do that manually. So it's basically a tracker that requires zero effort. And at the time, we had an agent working the chats basically by herself, and we managed to increase the capacity to 60 chats to 90 chats. So without doing all these manual steps, we were able to improve our capacity to get to our clients faster. And well, it's high value because, as you know, we put a lot of effort into communicating with our clients what they need to do in order to get compliant. So we were able to do that better without taking to do some manual processes. So let's go a little further. We also encountered that there was some sort of barrier within Intercom. Intercom allow us to enable the chat feature for different accounts. However, it has a cap. So as you know, Jones is growing, the accounts are coming in, but we don't have enough space on Intercom to allow them to see or to launch the messenger on their page, right? So Intercom basically limits the amount of domains you can add, but we needed to keep adding more and more domains from our clients. Many of them definitely need support, and as they are coming in to the company, they need to communicate with us. So it, this intercom cap created some sort of friction with our clients. So we needed to find a way to make the chat feature available for them. So we found out that Sabre, as it has this integration with Google Sheet, like I mentioned before, it has the opportunity to also create basically automatically and a user on intercom. So if you just enter an email from our property manager to a Google Sheet, what Savior does is that sends a command to intercom and creates a user. So this allows us to now enable the chat feature for our property managers. This actually requires zero manual effort. We just need to put in the property manager's email, and it's gonna create automatically on intercom the user. However, we still need some improvements. This is a work in progress, and of course, with the help of our product team, we're building together something that is gonna be long term. But at the moment, like Alex said, we need to work with what we have. So basically, this is one of the solutions we implemented as we came with the problem. So now the property managers are able to access the chat feature, and you're gonna see about this on the next couple of all hands and everything. And well, you know that as the company grows, our responsibility also grows. And there are a few things that the product can do, but it requires some involvement of someone. So we have on our um, Record Hub, which is the platform where the vendors and tenants can access their information, their CI information, we have a tiny button that says add client request. So if you are a tenant that's working for ABC company, but you're also working for Plumbing SA on a different property, you need to click that button and send us a request so we can include that other property to your profile on the Record Hub. So we received this request, which is an add client request. These are like type forms, and those were like from 8 to 15 emails per day. And well, I had to take care of them, but I had a lot on my plate, right? So I wanted to see how can I automate this first contact with the client without actually having to do it myself. So basically, um, we also use these many options that Zapier has and the portfolio. And there's an integration between Typeform, Front, and Zapier. So every time we received a request from our clients from Typeform, uh, we managed to connect Zapier to reply to them directly. So I didn't have to get involved on those emails. And now our clients are getting contacted on a timely manner. So basically, this eliminates the need for a manual drafting. We already set it up, the email that we're going to send to our new clients, and is automatically sent via Zapier. And well, we can now focus on different tasks, or I can focus on different tasks. So this is part of what we've been doing on the support team. These are baby steps, we know, but there's a lot coming. And I'm pretty sure that if you're not still using this platform, this might help you on many different tasks. So that's what I wanted to share with you.
Hola, hola, ahí estamos. ¿Cómo va Brasil? Okay, so I'm gonna explain you a little bit of a tool that we are currently using. But I wanted to ask you a question. How many of you have been involved in the waiver request channel? You? Okay, okay, a lot of people. Okay, so when you send a request, we used to contact the PM, right? So that's the main purpose of the channel. So we found a problem there, and it was searching or looking for the PM contact. Since Jones started, we have this little spreadsheet. This is basically, um, how do you say? Um, no, something like old, like archaeology, I would say. Archaeology, yeah. This is something kind of archaeology because this was in place since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So we had an increase in volume of accounts. We had like so many accounts, and all the accounts were divided in this little section, like routing, ABS, and it was a lot of information. So when you send a request to the channel, we need to search the contact of the PM in this spreadsheet. So we need to find first the account, and then the property, and then the name of the PM, and then the email address. And if there is an instruction, we need to go to Guru and check all the information. So this was very time consuming, and as you may know, last year, this year, the main purpose was like automating things and make it more efficient. So I already told the problem. So we find a solution. I don't know how many of you have heard about Google Looker. Any of this side? Okay, a lot of people. So this tool is basically reducing the time that we spend by looking on the PM contacts, because this tool is linked to an spreadsheet. It's not the same one. It's more filtered than new spreadsheet, but the team doesn't have to look or review the information in the spreadsheet. They come to this little dashboard that is the looker, and this is linked by coding, if I'm not mistaken. The automation team is in charge of this, so this is linked to the spreadsheet, and you only need to search the account and the property, and it's gonna pops out directly the name, the email, and if there is any specific instruction, you have the account instructions. So we dropped the handle time around 10 minutes while implementing this tool. So it was like a pretty high enhancement that we did. And I was thinking in a meeting that we had with the managers and the QA team, and the QA, that is Laura's sister, Sarah, told something, said, when we are looking for PM contacts, we are wasting a lot of time. And it was like, okay, we have a problem here. And it was that I told Jimmy, that is part of the automation team, that we need to do something. Do you know any type of tool that we can use in order to enhance this process and reducing time? And he told me, yes, we have Google Looker. It's this. I didn't understand anything at that point, but it worked, and that was the main purpose. So yeah, we basically reduced the time, centralizing all the PM's data, and yeah, this was a really hard step to migrate all the information from the spreadsheet to a new one with more filters, and all the information that we didn't use, we need to remove it. So this was like a really tough time because yeah, you can imagine we have more than 300 accounts, and making every single account with new instructions, with new contacts, it was really hard. But all the support team was able to manage this migration, and yeah, we did it. Let me see. Yeah, so basically we reduced it around 90% of the time that we used to look for the PM contacts, and that is represented now with more production and more efficiency. So this is how it looks. I know this is another use that we do with the PMs, sorry, with the Google Looker, and it's for the PTOs. I think that you have something similar to this, but it's not the same, because now you can, for the managers, it's more easy to look who is on PTO, basically just by searching by email, and we have the information of who is on PTO and the dates and the department and the final status, if it's approved or not. So yeah, this is one of the positive impacts that we had with this enhancement. So yeah, we expanded automation to data visibility. Using the Google Looker, managers can now view PTO in real time. Now, with quality assurance, this was another time-consuming item because we had one QA for all the team, for all the support team. So we are around 35 people. 35 people in the support team. And you can imagine, I don't know who is QA here. I know George, and I don't know who else. Luizinho, Luisa. So there, you know that the process of QA is really, really demanding because you need to basically rework everything to see what has been done. So the problem was that the agents didn't have the visibility in real time. So they need to wait for the QAs to audit all the tickets, and then after 1 month, check all the information. So that was really time consuming for the QA agent, and it was not like giving real time data. See, so the solution was to implement this tool powered by Google Script. It's powered by Google Script that it's more related to coding. So I'm not that in deep of coding. But yeah, we implemented this tool that provides real-time QA data, and I wanted to show you like the dashboard. This reduced the manual work, and it looks like this. So now you have in real time all the audits. You only need, you have a profile. Each agent has a profile, so they can look for their quarterly scores, weekly scores, and this is real time. If the QA is auditing one email, for example, and it's going to be represented in this little dashboard right here. And it's also, it gives you the quarterly data. That this is very important because it depends on how many accuracy did you have during the quarter. It's the bonus provided to you. So this was something that we really need long time ago, and hopefully, well, this is now in beta status, so this is not full implemented. We are implementing step by step, but this is going to be really impactful for the team, basically because we are reducing a lot of time, avoiding time delays. And this is something that La Jefa is going to present, so yeah, thank you. Tiago? Ah, perdón.
Boa tarde. So, before I actually jumped to my presentation, I just want you guys to picture, because I know that all of these guys have talked about is pretty much something that you have already implemented in auditing. We're like years delayed. Why? Because in El Salvador we didn't have like an automation team or a group of people who could really like just like take care of automation. We didn't have like someone really good at Google Sheets. We didn't have someone who could just like learn a little bit of coding, or for them to just like see what other platforms or third parties could help out with everything that we have to deal with. So all of these processes that you just saw, they were actually handled manually by managers, by seniors, by myself. So it took a lot of time for us to get bonuses, to measure OKRs, to do a QA review. So this is for us, it's just like a huge enhancement in our processes. We're still like in the middle or in the progress of just like getting into another level or a higher level, because I really hope you guys help us out maybe the next year to improve a lot of the processes and protocols that we have. But as of now, this is what we're working on, at least this current year. So I do want to present this because this is a very important process and very important tool. This was actually developed by David. David was the one behind the development of this amazing tool. So back in January, when I started with the in-person meetings with the team, one of the struggles that we had, it was the, what was the button that I needed to press? Was it this one? Okay. What was the problem that we were actually wanted to tackle was the amount of questions that someone from Tier 1 was asking to the managers and POCs. So have you ever heard about what Tier 1 does in the company? No? Okay. So Tier 1 right now is handling more than 200 accounts. I mean, pretty much they handle like 90% of the accounts, the entire portfolio. And the team, they just like manage the, I'm going to say easiest the scenarios that we get in support, but they are not really easy. We have a lot of cases, very complicated cases, that even though we train them to be prepared for those cases, sometimes they are unique. So this is an exercise that I want you guys to do. Let's think about a very complex and unique and very random scenario. Just think about it. I'm going to give you 3 seconds for you to think about that. That scenario you're thinking about, we already received it in support. Like, honestly. We've received complaints about vendors because the floor they are working on is flooded, or maybe because something is not connected and is unplugged. We've received complaints about invoices not being paid. We've received about tenants being in delinquent status because they haven't paid as well. And it's just like something that we cannot really handle. We don't handle that. But support receives those emails. So what are you guys going to do with those emails? So we actually train them for them to be prepared in terms of insurance knowledge, in terms of what specific accounts they have also giving us like instructions so we can proceed with resolving their cases, because we do have special instructions by account. That doesn't mean that that account is actually sensitive. It cannot be sensitive. But we do have a lot of accounts that need to be treated like a unique account because of the verbiage, because they want us to use another wording, because we have another process in place, etc. One of example is routing. Who handles routing here? Routing management? No one? Oh, there, okay. You know how routing is. Super complex, so different than any other account. Another one is Lennar. We cannot actually call them vendors. We call them trades. Another one is, I don't recall the name of this account, but we cannot send compliant emails to them. We cannot actually send the email saying, hey, you're compliant, you're good to go. We cannot send that. They don't like it. Routing doesn't like us to send thank you emails, for example. So we do have like these special instructions for each account that are very complex to manage. And when we don't follow those instructions, we get a lot of complaints, right? The tricky part here is how you guys are going to really know when an account needs to be treated differently. You don't. That's the reason why we have Guru and we have Notion. But have you ever like thought about just like learning and memorizing the special instructions for 150 plus accounts? It's just like crazy, right? So it's when a lot of questions are coming in. So all of these new hires, a lot of people just like being transitioned from one place to another, one department to another, they have a lot of questions. And we didn't have like us. We did have like knowledge centers, but they took a lot of time trying to find the answer for a specific or unique case in support that the SLA was just like up in the sky. So David in the meeting that we had in January, only for tier 1, we were receiving more than 3,000 questions on a monthly basis. 3,000. I had back then one manager and two seniors. Those two seniors, along with the manager, were handling those questions. So they were actually handling those questions on top of the other things, admin stuff that they needed to do. So it was crazy. So one of my biggest challenges was, how can I actually resolve this? Jimmy, I need your help. So Jimmy wasn't able to do it. I mean, we were having a lot of discussions about how to resolve this issue. We weren't able to do it. So we started just like focusing our efforts in something else, like in other enhancements. But in all of this time, when I was just like thinking about promoting David, David got promoted in July. In July, he started actually developing this tier 1 assistant powered by AI. So what he did after he got promoted is that he trained ChatGPT so he could be the assistant or the POC for all of the tier 1 questions that they were used to receive. Uy, what happened? Did I kill it? Okay. I think my energy is too intense for this. Well, I cannot really read. Do you read? I'm just gonna go back. I, I, mm. um, well, I think it said something about new employees and how hard it was for them to just like find the answers to their questions. So I'm just gonna skip all of this. Hold on. Jesse, I fixed it. I just skipped pretty much everything. But taking into account everything that I just said, that it was pretty much the biggest challenge that we had, because the team was answering more than 3,000 questions on a monthly basis. So David was able to train ChatGPT using Joan's account for everyone in the tier 1 team could just like access to this AI assistant and just ask questions regarding to what we had in Guru and Notion. It was very time consuming, let me tell you, because we have more than 500 cards in Guru, plus all the articles that we have in Notion. So David was able to add all of this information in the ChatGPT, in this AI assistant. So he was able to train the ChatGPT, because it's not as simple as just like adding all the information to this AI assistant and say, oh, okay, this is done. I mean, I'm adding all this information, and when someone is coming to ask a question, this is gonna answer correctly and accurately. It didn't work like that, because the first tryout, it didn't work. The AI assistant was giving us all incorrect answers. I mean, if QA was reviewing like a ticket that it was resolved by the AI assistant, it was an automatic 0, honestly. So we needed to train it. We needed to training on how to respond. We needed to training on spatial instructions by account. We needed to train it by processes, by protocols, by PMs, by et cetera, et cetera. So it was actually very time consuming. But David was able to do it. And right now, the team is already using ChatGPT. The team is already using this AI assistant to answer their questions. I mean, he was able to manage to gather all of this information, put it in one single place, trained ChatGPT, and now it's already up and running. So back when we didn't have like this AI assistant, we needed like around 5 or 6 agents to cover what we weren't able to respond in support. So meaning our daily quota, it was like 70 emails sent on a daily basis. That was around 700 emails for the entire team. Now with this improvement, with this tier 1 assistant, but also with the other enhancements that we have in place, we were able to increase that quota to 120 emails on a daily basis. Why? Because it's easier. You find the information faster. You find the information more accurately as well. You don't need someone or to wait for someone to answer your question, because the POCs are also busy answering other people's questions. So you don't have to wait for that anymore. And we were able to tackle this. 99% of the internal questions were eliminated. We don't receive 99% of those questions anymore. We just receive like questions regarding approvals, like can I go ahead and escalate this to a property manager or project manager? Can I get in touch with a CSM? Can I get in touch with Patty? Can I get in touch with an implementation manager, etc.? I have no idea what I'm reading right now. But yeah, so for the POCs, they actually got their time back. They are now focusing on resolving the most complicated cases for the tier 1 emails, and those are called resolution agents because it requires a higher level of critical thinking, so they can resolve those tickets. So they are right now just like resolving those, the tickets that we received, that the tier 1 agents cannot really do it that easily. So we have the POCs handling those. So instead of them just answering questions, they are also helping us out with the queue, which they didn't do, a couple of months ago. And the outcome is 70, we went from 70 emails replied to 120 tickets on a daily basis, which is pretty fantastic. This, I don't know if I can just like, okay, this is just like an example so you can see how it actually works. I would love to give you like a live example, but it was gonna take me forever. But one of the limitations that we have with this one is that we do have a limit time of questions that we can ask or that an agent can ask. So they can, I believe, ask only like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 questions on a daily basis. But we're still just like trying, we're in the process of trying to just like improve it. So this is how it comes. And this is all the information that we have in Google and Notion at this point. So with that being said, because I really don't want to bore you anymore, I know you're kind of sleepy at this point, right, Alex? No? So this is just what we could do with the resources and the people that we had in the team at this point. We are actually looking forward to seeing what more enhancements we can bring on board, what other support and assistance we can receive also from other departments. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to tell us, how you guys can support us and how you guys can help us out as well. So if you have any idea, if you have like any thought that you think that maybe it's gonna work in support, please share it with me, or with Jesse. And I'm gonna be so happy if you can help us out. So I think this is gonna be just like the ending of season 2 for support. We're still in the middle of the tsunami season. I can see an island very far, far, far away. I can see the ground, but it's still very far away. But I can see it. And I think that we're in the middle of, not in the middle, we're actually in the process of starting to watch season 3 of support, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's it. Thank you. Oh. No. Questions and answers.
Yeah. Thanks, Patty. Thank you so much. Support team, you rock. Questions? I want to see phones pointed right now at the screen. I'm not joking. Point your cell phone and make your question. Okay? Yes, I see phones now. All right. I'll let you do that first. How can I demand it and then, speak immediately after, right? Okay? All right. Still some phones up. All right. So we are. I want to do something right now. I had talked to Gabrielle about that. I knew Patty would, present today something really meaningful that was, deployed by David. And we've all heard about, David's passing and how that impacted our teams. So, I was talking to Gabrielle a few days ago, like, how can we honor David? And whenever somebody passes, I think there is like this culture of like, oh, let's do a minute of silence. And then I was like, you know what, that's not the Brazil way. So I really want to invite you all to like just honor our friend and colleague David by giving him a round of applause. He's not here, but I know he deserves it. Yeah, yeah, awesome. I love to see it. Thank you so much, team. Thank you so much. I know he deserves this, and the El Salvador team deserves it. And I just appreciate you guys coming in such a difficult moment. We have been struggling in Brazil with the news, but we know it's not even 1% of what you guys are going through. So our hearts are, with you guys. You know that. I think this is important too. So let's move on. And we're gonna talk about something that I think it really connects with what we're doing right now as well, which is a very very important message that Bianca has for us about what we keep and what we change. And this, as I said, I think it's gonna touch on a lot of important points. Okay, sorry.